What's going on, guys? I wanted to make a quick video that shows you how I join my braid to fluorocarbon. I don't know what this knot's called, but it's the knot that I've been using for years. I've never had it fail. I find it to be the easiest knot to tie. I can do it right on the boat, no problem. It's not something that I have to do in the garage. So I figure I'll go ahead and show you here. If somebody knows what it's called, please let me know. Alright guys, so I'm hoping this will be a little easier to see than what I had in the garage. That was with line that I actually use, right? Real fluorocarbon and some green braid. I have here, this is some old Power Pro that's washed out white, so you should be able to see a little bit easier. And obviously I have a solid background, so this is some high visibility, probably like 50-pound test. But we're going to call this our fluorocarbon so you can actually see it. So let me try to tie this. It might be a little bit, it's definitely not going to be as good of a knot because of this being 50 pounds test. But so again, I have a loop here with the braid, and I've made a loop with the fluorocarbon. So I'm going to take the loop of the braid and I'm going to put it through the loop of the fluorocarbon like this. I'm going to hold the loop open with my pointer finger for the fluorocarbon. I'm going to wrap the braid around about 5 times. Now with thinner lines, like what I've been using the Gliss, the Ardent Gliss, it's so thin, I'll wrap it around 10 times just because it is so thin that I can wrap it 10 times and the knot's still going to be smaller than this, and it just gives it a little bit more snug. So I'm going to take the loop here for this is the braid again right here after I had wrapped it around 5 times. And I'm going to take that loop and I'm going to go back through the loop on the fluorocarbon. I'm going to pull the whole thing down. I'm going to wet the knot so it doesn't heat up, and I'm going to pull the whole thing down. Grabbing everything, pulling it real good and tight. Then, this is real important, I'm only going to grab the main line of the braid, and I'm going to grab the main line for the fluorocarbon on this side. I'm going to pull them real good and tight. That way if it has anything to pull, it's not going to pull when you have a fish on there or a snag or anything like that. It's going to pull right now. So now I'll cut this. I have a loop here. And cut the braid. Okay. Alright, so I cut that loop. I got another tag end for the braid. And then I got one tag end for the fluorocarbon here. A little hard with 50-pound test here. Alright, so didn't cut the braid too good, but even with 50-pound test, the knot's pretty small, except for this little tag end sticking off here from the braid, but that's nothing anyway. So hopefully that helps be able to see it. I know before it was a little hard to see. Sometimes, for some reason, like in bait casters and whatnot, this works just fine like it is. But every once in a while, with real thin line, like I've never had this issue with the thicker Power Pro stuff. But if you're using really thin braid, I've had this braid come around and catch the tag end. Even though it's almost non-existent, it'll catch it, and then it'll try to pull out like this. But it only happens with spinning rods for me. So what I'll do is I'll actually take a little bit of super glue and just put it right here on the end, basically gluing the tag end down. Because I mean, if you can see that there's almost no tag end on this thing, but it'll still catch it. Not really sure why it happens on spinning rods, but with my spinning rods now, I take a little bit of glue and put it on there just so that won't happen, because it literally, as you try to cast, it'll wrap up around your guides and stuff. It's a real pain, but hopefully that helps.